Okay, take this old string off this R9. I'm gonna take it apart. We're gonna look at it. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after I get it out of the bowl. Now I looked at my timing on this bowl as far as my cable being synced real nice, and I've already checked my cam length because I'm gonna put this string back on here. I sure don't want to use that knocking, my way of knocking this string without it being right cable wise. Okay, stay tuned. String off this R9. Before I do anything else, I'm going to rotate it here, okay, and see what I've got in it twist wise to give me an idea what to put back in it, what to put it back on the bowl. A half, one, looks like 1.5 twist in each end. Okay, now I'm hoping this comes out in this camera. I don't feel anything unusual about this right here. Look, feel it in here. Okay, I don't see anything that looks bad. Serving is all still intact. There's no broken strands that I can see. Okay, out here on the ends of the loops, all good. In fact, I got a little separation out here on this part out here, but that's not really that, since it's so close out here to this end. Same goes out here on this end. But what I put on it, the serving that I put on it, that's what I'm really interested in. Okay, you can see the flat spots here where the jaws have come across the string. Now they've worked on it some, okay, but I don't feel anything. It's still got some stiffness to it. Okay, now I'm bending it right there. Now you can see her where she's showing right in this rear narrow spot here. I can see on the back side a little alligator look, but not much out past here. So I wouldn't see that in the bowl looking at it from the back of the carriage. Of course, I usually I can see some out here even. I don't see that on this string here. Okay, now remember, this was in an R9, which is not as powerful as all the rest. So I'm going to take this thing apart, take the top serving off, see what we got. I'll show some more. Before I forget, this is not an OEM string. This is an Archery Shack string that I ordered. It's aftermarket, but I did reserve this center section. Okay, this is not an OEM string. This is an aftermarket string, and I even reserved the aftermarket string. Now here's what I used. On the inner, I used this right here. Okay, and on the outer, I used 26 thousandths Angel Majesty. I don't even know if you can buy this anymore right here. Okay, I had this left over. Maybe that's in the camera. That's the inner serving. Again, that's the outer serving. So I'm going to take this thing apart and we're going to look at it. There may be an alternative to this though. You might be able to use maybe like a braided BCY, like a 18 thousandth. I think they make one of those, but now I have not used it. Okay, now this string right here has given some really good performance in the lateral. I've tested it. I've had a friend even shoot the bow some. I've shot it all the way out past 100 yards, slightly past 100 yards. I had no knock runaway with this string. Okay, remember the Ravin bow's a little different. You don't have a rail. So the only thing guiding your bow is that knock staying in that string as that bow is releasing. Now you do have front rollers that may assist somewhat, but they're spring loaded. Okay, there's no knock ties or anything in here installed into this string. Okay, this is just serving over top of serving over top of the actual string fibers here. Okay, so I'm fixing to take her apart. We'll evaluate it. If anybody wants to make any comments, please feel free, especially if you see something negative. Okay, because I don't know a whole lot about serving. I don't really know a whole lot about bowstrings. I just know what a good one, when one shoots good, I know what it looks like. Okay, I've got this outer serving off of this string, and here's the part here I really want to look at. This is the center section here that was around the knocking area. Let's see if we can get that in the camera there. Okay, she's getting a little thin. Looks more beat up than she looks out here, obviously, out of the knocking area. Okay, still all intact. Looks to be a little thinner in places than others. Okay, maybe that's in the camera there. Okay, now just based on this right here, how many more shots could I have shot that string on that bow before this right here broke? I can't say for sure, but I would say she'd probably, I believe you could get 300 shots out of this setup here. Okay, I can't say, I wouldn't probably try it any more than that, but now we'll go to this right here. This is the, still got the inner installed. Okay, now this right here is the best I've seen, boys and girls. Okay, she's got a good bend to her. Okay, I see one little crack, even when I bend this serving this far right here. One itty bitty little crack right over here. This side over here don't even have a zero separation. Okay, one little bit right over there, just a tad. And if I rotate the serving back over this way, you might see it there in the camera. Right there's the only little spot of separation, very, very minute. This side over here, perfect. Okay, really impressed with that right there. Now when you run your fingers down this serving, one thing you're going to notice is you feel sort of abrasive. Okay, it's not smooth. It doesn't even really feel like thread. Okay, and maybe that's what's holding this Angel Majesty on this right here so good. Okay, she does look good. Okay, I'm going to take this off next and we'll look at the actual fibers of the string and see what's happening. Okay, got the inner serving off the string. Now, I need to make a disclaimer here. This string has been fired on a bow more than 209 shots. It was fired before I reserved it, okay? Anyway, looking at the center part of the string right here, since I don't have an exact count of how many times it was fired before I reserved it, but had I took this string new and reserved it, I don't see, as far as this part in here, I don't see any reason why a person couldn't get 400 shots off of a R9 crossbow. I've not tested this on the other Ravin bows now. Still looks good in here. Okay. No broken strands. Feels a little flatter in there though. Okay, now remember the 209 shots on the R9, there was not a lot of cock time. It was more shots. So for a hunting situation, you know, you've seen the serving, the black serving, you know, where the jaws have been coming over, been working on it. Okay, well in a cocking situation and uncocking, in a hunting situation, you're not going to get that. Okay, you're not going to get the serving wear. You're making less trips over the jaws. That's one nice thing about a Ravin, being able to let it down versus have to shoot it out. Okay, so that part right there looks good. Now that redness you may see in the camera on that serving, that's because I had some bullwhip serving on this before. It wasn't no killed. Okay, 14 thousandths, so you don't even want to go there. Won't work. It'll work, but it'll only work a little while. Not like this serving right here, this 20 thousandths BCY. Now the 18 thousandths may work. Okay, may actually give you a good knock fit where you can use Big Bird's tool he sells and roll it around in there, you know, and get you knocked to shoot good, and maybe with some time. And because now this is a low compression setup, I can tell you that right now. That's just using his tool, pushing it down on there after I got done. So there she goes. There she is. So I'm gonna reserve this one, put her back on there. I probably won't. I'll probably put it on there for the R9 for hunting season. I probably won't do a lot of target shooting with it. Or I may get me a new archery shack string and serve it up and put it on there and just shoot the daylights out of the bow again during the hunting season. Hope you enjoyed.